Number 4, you are given the function determine if it's linear or not, then determine the domain and range. So let's look at it. First of all, it already says it's a function. It passes the vertical line test. Okay, we're gonna see if it's a linear or non-linear. Okay, the way you distinguish it is if it's straight or not. Because I'm gonna tell you now, the first one, do you see how it curves? The fact that if it's curved, this is non-linear, but this is straight. Number B is straight, so that's going to be linear. Do you see how you can tell? All right, let's look at the domain. The domain are your x values, so just take a look at your farthest x value. See, it doesn't stop. There's an arrow here. That means it goes all the way to negative infinity. Same thing here, it goes all the way to positive infinity. The fact that they're both infinities, you have to put curves, you have to put parentheses around it because it doesn't really stop. Okay, and then let's now take a look at the y value, which is the range. Notice it really doesn't stop here. Okay, what's really happening is the arrow is pointing here. So there's an arrow here. That means it goes to all the way to negative infinity. And this one also goes to positive infinity. Positive infinity is up here, negative infinity is down here. And they're also parentheses. Okay. B, we already know it's linear. Let's take a look at the domain, which is the x values. Notice here, it doesn't stop. It is this, which is a negative infinity. And then it's also an arrow here, which is going to be positive infinity. And we put parentheses around those. Now we are going to take a look at the y values. Again, the smallest one here is negative infinity and goes all the way up here, which is positive infinity. And we put parentheses around that as well. Right? C, the y's, the change here are different. So this is actually also non-linear. And then D is also non-linear. Okay. This is a curve. This also bends, right? It's not straight, it bends. All right, let's take a look at the domain. All right, do you see an arrow here? All right, it goes all the way to negative infinity, which is right here. Then it goes all the way to the right, which is positive infinity. And we put parentheses around those. And here we have the y values. And then do you see how it keeps pointing down? Okay. It keeps going, so it's negative infinity. Here it actually stops. Do you see how it stops right here? That is at the value of 3. So it goes all the way to the value of 3 and it stops right there. So we put a bracket there. Parentheses is around the negative infinity. Then the letter D, we already know it's nonlinear. Let's take a look at the x-intercept. The x-intercepts are right here. Okay. All right. So notice this does curve. This goes all the way to negative infinity and then goes all the way to the right. Looks like that is going all the way to positive infinity. Put parentheses around those. Negative infinity to the left, positive infinity to the right. Next, this is weird, but it actually will asymptone here. That it's going to stop at this point right here. Okay, this point here is 0. So the range here, the lowest is 0. It actually really never touches it. Okay, it goes all the way up, all the way to positive infinity, positive infinity. Make sure this is up. Oh, make sure it's open. Okay, it's open on that 0. It never touches 0. Okay, and that would be the range there. Right, so that is how you tell if things are linear or non-linear, then determining its domain and also its range.